What's up? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into the politics and BS.
And a few weeks later, there's another attempt on your husband's life at your golf course. Where were you and what was your reaction to this attempt?
I was in New York City, actually. And I saw it on the television. And as soon as I saw it on television, I called again. And he was okay because Secret Service were great. The guys that they were with him, they were fantastic. And I think both of the events, they were really miracles. If you really think about it, the July 13 was a miracle, like that much, and he could not be with us.
And he normally doesn't call for that one screen. He waits till the end of the speech. So just looking at that screen allowed him to turn his head.
I think something was watching over him. I think he's, it's almost like country really needs him.
Girl, if Melania doesn't go back in her hole away from us with this mess, this is disgusting to me because, one, I truly believe that once the check cleared, then she agreed to have this interview on Fox News and say what he wanted her to say. Because I don't believe that she would have missed him if that alleged attempt on his life was successful. Let's be clear, because she does not like that man. She does not like that man. She does not like that man. They don't sleep in the same bedroom. They don't sleep in the same bed. She has no desire to be back in the White House with him. They slept in separate rooms when he wasn't there, a place that he did not deserve to be. But to sit there and say, which, like I said, I believe that those are the words that she was paid to say that the country needs him, that it was a miracle, like to say that God spared his life, but all of these schools that get shot up by people that look like her husband when he was a kid, and those lives get taken, children, students, teachers, so God wasn't watching over them. So you're trying to say that that was God's will for those people to lose their lives, but God spared him? Spare me with the BS. This is disgusting, and I cannot stand these lunatic Republican MAGA people who want to try to insert God in this foolishness. God has nothing to do with politics. Absolutely nothing to do, especially with the politics of this country. But to try to invoke God to say that it was a miracle that Donald Trump's life was spared, but for those kids that get affected by these incidents that happen at these schools, well, you all just need to get used to that. It's just God's will, thoughts and prayers. It's just bullcrap, and I cannot stand it. Let me know what you think about what she was paid to say. So the New York City Mayor, Eric Adams, who a lot of people have been saying is corrupt and crooked, he has officially been indicted. He has been accused of taking $10 million in illegal donations and luxury travel from foreign officials in exchange for political favors. So the news is that in the unsealed 5-page indictment, Eric Adams allegedly accepted at least $10 million from foreign officials during his campaign in exchange for political favors, and he's being charged with conspiracy, wire fraud, and bribery charges. He reportedly took money from Turkish government officials during his mayoral campaign. The foreign officials reportedly wanted to gain influence over him and gave him luxury trips and expensive gifts in order to obtain that. It's saying as Adams' prominence and power grew, His foreign national benefactors sought to cash in on their corrupt relationships with him, particularly when, in 2021, it became clear that Adams would become New York City's mayor. And Adams agreed, providing favorable treatment in exchange for the illicit benefits he received. It's also saying that he sought and accepted illegal campaign contributions in the form of nominee or straw contributions, meaning that the true contributors conveyed their money through nominal donors who falsely certified they were contributing their own money. By smuggling their contributions to Adams's through U.S.-based straw donors, Adams's overseas contributors defeated federal laws that served to prevent foreign influence on the U.S. elections. In the wake of the indictment, his home was also raided, and Adams has also maintained his innocence and claims he's being targeted by the government. Well, he had a press conference, and someone out in the crowd had a bullhorn and went off on him, like clear went off on him.
New York saying that this is not a black day. This is not a black day. This is a youth day. This is a youth day, Eric Adams. This is not a black day. Your policies are anti-black. You are a disgrace to all black people in this city. The things that you have done are unconscionable. You hurt our schools. Our streets are dirty. Our children are harassed by the police. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. You can shush me all you want, but the people are with us. And this is not a black day. This is a justice day.
First of all, I want to thank you for being here this morning. And I want to thank the supporters of all ethnic groups.
Now, he could try to laugh it off as much as he wants, but I'm quite sure he is not feeling good about this because he is not Donald Trump. He's not any other non-melanated man in politics. So when people make comments about this is another black man that they're trying to tear down because he's in a high position or whatever, well, you already know how they're viewing people that look like him. So why not do things on the up and up and just kind of shun the very appearance of anything that is improper, immoral, or illegal? Because yeah, if they find some stuff on you, they're going to put the hammer down. And unfortunately, they don't really have to do a whole lot of trying to set somebody up with just outright lies or the proverbial pulling somebody over and throwing some drugs in the car and then acting as if they found it in there when it was like a complete setup. No, you're doing things that you're not supposed to be doing, and they already have their eyes on you. And then when the investigation is complete and the indictment is handed down, then you want to call out racism and, well, what about Trump? He's got all these convictions. And yeah, that's true. And it's not fair. But you already know that it's not fair. And the fact that he was friends and allegedly the mentor to someone who is now in prison right now, who was doing some fraudulent things, Bishop Lamar Whitehead, then yeah, it's just now people are also wondering, did the bishop turn some state's evidence or federal evidence, if you will? Because he got convicted and he's serving some time. I can't remember how many years he got. It may have been between 7 to 10 years or something like that for the fraud that he was convicted of doing. And he was out here just touting the fact that, yeah, Mayor Adams, he's my friend, he's my mentor. So it's like, okay, so did he mentor you into some criminal situations? And so an article was written in Black Enterprise about 4 months ago, and it talked about text messages between the mayor and Bishop Lamar Whitehead, and there was a dispute that was being had, but it proves that they had some sort of communication and relationship. And a few articles were written, and they were basically saying how Mayor Adams was trying to pacify what they called the Bling Bishop, Lamar Whitehead. This stuff is messy. A lot of stuff is going down. Yeah, Trump is a felon who is running for the office of presidency. I don't agree with it. I don't believe that that should be allowed, but unfortunately it is. So we can't sit and compare the two, because Mayor Adams ain't no Donald Trump. And I'm not saying that Donald Trump is a good person, but Donald Trump is a white person. And it is just different. That's just the way it is. And I'm sorry, I'm just one of those people that I feel like if you're going to be in these positions, you got to try your best to be on the up and up. Look how long Obama was in office. He served 2 terms as president. A lot of people did not like him. And they tried to say a lot of conspiracy things about him, and even tried to do some tabloid things about his relationship in his marriage and things like that. But there was nothing that they could have pulled on him. Do you not think that if Obama was doing some fraudulent things, that he would have not been not only impeached, but actually removed from office? Absolutely he would have. They tried. Do you not think that they didn't try? Do you not think that they didn't try to pull some stuff out on the prosecutor, Letitia James, in New York? If they had some stuff on her, it would have been called out a good while ago, you know? So not everyone who is black, who is melanated, and who is in politics is dirty. Yes, politics is dirty, but you don't have to be. If you're going to be in that situation and be in politics, do the right thing. Because people don't really want to hear it when you come out here doing press conferences talking about how this is all lies and you're a black man and they're trying to destroy you and they're trying to tear you down. Because people don't want to hear it. It doesn't mean that multiple things can't be true at the same time. Yeah, they don't want to see you in that office, for sure. But they're not going to just outright put lies on you to try to tear you down. There was some real stuff there. Period. So it's just disgraceful. And you heard what that heckler had to say. I wouldn't even call him a heckler. I would feel that there are a lot of people like him that feel the exact same way that he does. I've never lived in New York. I've been there several times to visit. But I've heard a lot of things that a lot of black people are not happy with his leadership or lack thereof. And it's funny because the New York Post, which is actually a more right-leaning publication, but yet and still, back in 2016, they did an article. This was before Mayor Adams was Mayor Adams. He was just the Brooklyn borough president at the time. And the title of the article was "Ex-Con Using Eric Adams' Ties to Push Youth Programs as Bogus Claims." And it says, an ex-con is using his close ties to Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams to reinvent himself as a bishop, overseeing youth mentorship programs. But he hasn't left all his troubling behavior behind, according to Records and Associates. Lamar Whitehead, founder of Leaders of Tomorrow Brooklyn, has appeared at more than a dozen high-profile events with Adams since his 5-year stint at Sing Sing, where he served time on multiple counts of identity fraud and grand larceny before his release in July 2013. Whitehead has used the public spotlight with Adams to tout his group's mentorship programs and raise funds, including before he registered it as a for-profit business in March 2014. But a number of Whitehead's public claims about the group have been refuted, including by law enforcement agencies. So, the fraud goes back And they were looking at him for a long time when it comes to the fraud. So it's kind of like he got in that position and he stepped up the fraud. And that's sad. It's sad for the people of New York. It's sad for his family. It's a disgrace for all black people, because I just believe that when you get in those positions, yeah, you are treated differently. We know that. But you should hold it to a higher standard as well. It's not what's good for the goose is good for the gander. It's not what's good for the white man with doing things that are illegal is good for the black man in doing things that is illegal. You can't do the same thing. And you shouldn't even want to. So you let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comments. Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.